Hi, I'm Robin. I'm the Financial Counsellor at the Trobe University Student Union, and I'd like to welcome you to Semester 2 Orientation Week 2020. The Student Union is located at the Agora building in the middle of the Bundoora campus, but our services are also available to students enrolled in any of the other campuses. What's financial counselling? Financial counselling is a free, confidential, and professional service available to all students on campus. We can help you with issues such as debts, rental issues, utility costs, and budgeting problems. You'll see the email address and the website address on the slide beside me. So, what are some of the problems that students sometimes face when they're studying at La Trobe University? Let's hear from one of the students themselves.
I moved from my family's farm to Melbourne to study at La Trobe University. I took out a car loan and I moved into a student house. Rent, food, and other stuff is really expensive, and I couldn't make my repayments. I didn't think there was any help around. I was feeling really anxious. I couldn't focus on my study and I thought I'd have to drop out. But then a friend told me that LTSU has a financial counsellor who will listen to my issues for free and work out some options together. I made an appointment with the financial counsellor. I knew I needed help, and it was great not to feel blamed. I felt relief and that I could continue my studies. We decided together to start budgeting and planning costs of rent, food, transport, and bills. I couldn't afford my car loan, so the financial counsellor offered to speak to the bank to work out a solution. Amazingly, the bank agreed to reduce my loan repayments. We looked at some transport subsidies, so I can still visit my family each month for free. The financial counsellor told me I was eligible for a scholarship, which will help when I need to do an unpaid placement for my course. They also referred me to the careers office to help me write my CV and to find some part-time work. I'm now connected with the counselling service too. I'm sticking with my budget now and I feel good about finding a job. Seeing the financial counsellor at La Trobe Student Union has made a huge difference. Now that I have ongoing support, I feel confident I'll get through my degree and I feel ready for the future.
Okay, so you can see there some of the problems that student had, and that they didn't have to feel alone about that. They could go and get some help if they needed it. So I hope that's the case for you. Financial wellbeing has also got a module of educational materials attached to it so that you can learn about these areas and increase your skills in your own time. Each of the areas, such as planning how to spend your money, making financial decisions during COVID-19, credit and debt issues, the sort of problems we might get into with debt, and also about HECS and help loans, are all modules that you can teach yourself and learn from in your own time. But if you do have any problems in these areas, I'd be happy to help you through. An example of one of these areas might be budgeting. So as a new student, it's always a good idea to have a look and see what your income is and what benefits you might gain, and then look at your expenses like rent, utilities, transport costs, and even your tuition fees to make sure that you can afford to study. This will point out some of the problem areas you might have, and then you can come and see me and we can talk about some strategies. So our international students also might have some problems when they arrive in Australia, or if they're studying from overseas and find themselves in financial difficulty. Sometimes to be able to manage tuition fees is difficult, or if you're living here, some of the other costs of living, such as rent and utilities and food, can be really expensive. So we're here to help, and we can also refer you to the International Student Services Support staff that can be real experts in these sort of areas. We also at Student Union have an advocacy service for students who are having difficulty with legal issues, with policy issues or procedures, are having problems with their academic progress, or maybe need special circumstances in times of assessment. So please come and speak to our advocates on the email shown on the slide, and they'll be happy to speak to you in an objective way, that they're not attached to the university and have your interests at heart. We also cover the university campuses in regional areas such as Mildura, Shepparton, Wodonga and the city. And you'll see here some other contacts that we have in those areas that can help you if you have financial problems. Also, at any time you can call the National Debt Helpline, and that is a free and confidential service to help you with your financial issues. So I hope this helps in a way to show you that there are some services here at university to help you, and that you can contact us at the Student Union anytime, and we'll either meet with you, have a Zoom meeting or a phone meeting. So welcome again to university, and please send any questions to my email and I'll be happy to answer them.
If you're a student and looking for financial assistance, then the Department of Human Services is here to help. We deliver payments to students and Australian apprentices who are studying or training. Some of these are regular payments and take care of day-to-day costs. Others are paid less often and help with specific costs. There are 3 main payments for students: Youth Allowance, AusStudy and AbStudy. These 3 payments are paid regularly while you're studying or training. So which one is right for you? If you're under 25 years, Youth Allowance is for you. If you're 25 years or older, then look into AusStudy. Both of these payments generally need you to be studying full-time. If you're studying part-time, you may need to look at payments for job seekers, like New Start Allowance or Youth Allowance as a job seeker. These have different eligibility requirements, with more emphasis on finding work. The third main student payment is AbStudy. You should consider this if you're an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander Australian. Unlike the others, AbStudy is available even if you're studying part-time. Once you're on one of these 3 main payments, there are additional payments that may be available. These include the Student Startup Loan, the Relocation Scholarship, Fares Allowance and Rent Assistance. If you're on AbStudy, your extra payments may also include Incidentals Allowance, School Fees Allowance, Residential Costs Option, and others. And if you're not eligible for any student payment, but you're on a low income, you could be eligible for a low income healthcare card. To explore payment options based on your situation, go to Payment and Service Finder, available at humanservices.gov.au/students. You can also ask general questions at Student Update on Facebook or Twitter.